Promised. Here's Julia Lee with a look at really what moved the markets, and she's joining us from Bell Direct in Sydney. Good afternoon to you, Julia. It was a really good afternoon for our share market, even outperforming the United States.
Dean, after 3 days of losses on the local market, we finally saw a bounce back, and what a bounce back it was. We saw the market up by 1.5%, and there were three major factors really driving the gains on the Australian market, which saw an outperformance against the US market. First of all, I guess we did see a positive lead come through from the US. The Dow was up by only 0.5% overnight, but we did see broad-based gains with 20 out of the 30 Dow components actually gaining ground. Secondly, we saw the Asian Development Bank come out and upgrade its outlook for forecasts around the region. Now, Asia, excluding Japan, has seen an upgrade in terms of growth forecasts up to 3.9% from 3.4% previously. So that's been great news for the region. And thirdly, we've seen commodity prices rebounding as the appetite for risk once again rebounds. So that's all been great news for the Australian market. In fact, the bears now must be quite disappointed because the market is showing a fair bit of resilience and the bulls very much back in favour. So on our market today, we did see broad-based gains, same as the US. In fact, if we have a look at the best performing sectors, it was the energy, the banking stocks, as well as the utility sectors. Every single sector on our market saw gains today, with one exclusion, and that was Telstra. It seems as though the defensives once again generally underperformed the market, but overall the Australian market up by 1.5%.
Okay, Julia, Lynas Corporation, it's in a trading halt. What's behind the halt there?
If we have a look at Lynas Corporation and what's happening to the stock, it is waiting for China non-ferrous metals to actually take a 51.6% stake in the company, but it has been delayed by the Foreign Investment Review Board. Now, last month there were announced changes to help some of the smaller sized companies so that foreign companies looking for a stake of up to 15% or $219 million wouldn't need Foreign Investment Review Board approval. Unfortunately, this doesn't really help Lynas because China's looking for such a big stake. So in fact, we've seen Lynas's application for this stake by China non-ferrous metals now delayed by 3 times. So it has gone into a trading halt. If we have a look at Lynas's share price in 2009, this is what it looks like. The share's up by 220% so far in the year to date, really helped by this proposal by China non-ferrous metals.
Yeah, 220%, not too shabby. We have yet another capital raising coming to the market, this time AWB. What's the story behind that, and I guess what's the company positioning itself for?
This one's not been wholly unexpected by the market. In fact, last week we saw AWB being issued a speeding fine by the ASX, and it looks like investors have been trying to get on board before a possible capital raising. Well, this morning they actually announced the capital raising, $459 million. Now, the majority of that, $359 million, will be through a 1-for-1 entitlement offer at that $1 mark. Now, if I bring up AWB for 2009, this is what it looks like, and I've just drawn a line at that $1 mark, which represents a 31% discount to the last trader price. Now, it's not surprising that AWB is going to the market for funds because it does have a fairly high gearing ratio. Its gearing ratio is at 46%, and if we have a look at its credit rating, it's at BBB-, so not looking too well there in terms of its credit rating. AWB is looking at this capital raising to help some of its financing as well as its balance sheet. If we have a look at some of the financing that's due up before the end of the year, it was $1.3 billion. They have announced, though, a refinancing facility for $575 million of that, which was due in October. So that's been good news for the stock, but it is predicting that it's going to swing to a pretty big loss for the year ended at the end of September. So AWB shares in a trading halt. It is going to do a capital raising.
Okay, Julia, thanks so much for your analysis. Once again, we'll speak with you tomorrow.
Thanks, Nadine.